Hi, and welcome to the Haverhill Journal, an information program designed to give you a snapshot of what's going on in your hometown. I'm Lindsay Paris, and this week we're exploring the grounds of what was once Haverhill's grandest estate, learning more about this Friday's Stop the Bull rally and upcoming events at the Haverhill Public Library and YWCA. But first, the graceful American chestnut tree once grew all over Haverhill. When blight struck in the early 20th century, the chestnut tree was rendered virtually extinct. But this week, for the first time in over 100 years, a new strain of blight-resistant chestnut saplings were planted at Canosa Lake, and HC Media was there to cover it.
Thank you all for coming and helping the American chestnut trees get established. So we have 4 little American chestnut trees. These 4 American chestnuts, they're being replanted because a fungus had killed most of the American chestnuts. And we all thought, well, maybe Winnekenni is a good spot. So that's why we're here. And this is a great spot because some trees were just cut down, so it's time to put some new trees in.
We're here today to help plant the American chestnut tree. These are the 2 Girl Scout troops from Hillview Montessori, 62081 and 75040. So Adela contacted us, and we're here today to help her.
I got involved in the Winnekenni Forest Project, it's a great name for it, because I'm a member of the American Chestnut Foundation, and they sent me a special letter saying that because I'd been a member for so long, more than 5 years, that I was eligible for some of their seeds. The seeds being blight-resistant seeds because they'd back-crossed them with a gene from a Chinese chestnut. So these are mostly American chestnut, but they have a blight-resistant gene from a Chinese chestnut. And actually, I thought, I'd been wanting to work with the Girl Scouts for a long time. I was a Girl Scout myself for about 10 years, and I really think it's great to be environmentally aware of what's happening. And so we all thought that would be a great idea, and maybe in Winnekenni would be a good place.
The Winnekenni Forestry Project, it's actually a citywide forestry project. Winnekenni had a small harvest earlier this year, or at least small in location, to deal with an infestation in the by the hemlock woolly adelgid and the hemlock trees. This portion, sort of the northwestern corner of Winnekenni Park, is dominated by hemlock. So we're able to take those trees out, and essentially in opening up this the forest floor to all this new sunlight, it's going to promote the next generation of forest for park goers.
We're actually planning to come back a year from now. We've sort of been in this process since last year. So our older girls last year found out about the project, and we knew that it was going to be coming up this year to plant them, so they're planning on coming back every year to check them out.
American chestnuts at one time made up 25% of our forests. They were huge. Like now we think of mainly oak trees, but it used to be a lot of American chestnut trees as well. And so maybe they'll grow up and make little trees, and then there'll be more trees. And it would be so exciting. And hopefully these kids will come back, maybe when they're in college or something, and take a walk here, and they'll see the trees that they planted, and they'll be making chestnuts, and they'll be so thrilled in it. That would be so cool for everybody.
While Winnekenni's forest is being restored to more resemble the woods of a century ago, the Plug Pond area still contains remnants of what was, in its day, one of the most luxurious estates in Haverhill. We visited the area to see just what remains of Birchbrow. I'm standing here where the stunning 33-room Birchbrow estate once stood. Less than 70 years ago, this entire area was fully cleared. But standing here today amongst these tall maples and birches, it's hard to imagine any differently. Birchbrow owner Thomas Sanders was a friend of Alexander Graham Bell. Sanders financed much of Bell's work and allowed Bell to use his house on Canosa Street for early telephone experiments. The first ever business-to-business telephone call was placed here in Haverhill at his home. He built Birchbrow at the huge expense of $385,000 in 1880, the equivalent of $9 million today. I'm standing here in one of the many cellar holes here on the Birchbrow estate. If this was 1880, there'd be about 30 rooms above my head right now. But standing here today, all I see is trees and sunlight. To give you an idea of the scope of this place, I'm standing in front of this gigantic cistern here at Birchbrow. As you can see, this thing is about twice as tall as I am, and all it was for is to collect rainwater for the Birchbrow estate. His family lived in the house for decades, until it was abandoned in the 1930s. The house was taken down in 1948, but you can still see the cellar holes of the home and stable here behind Plug Pond. I'm here at what we think was the entrance to Birchbrow. As you can see behind me, you can barely see Plug Pond through all these trees. But back in the 1930s, this was a clear and unobstructed view. As you can see, the Winnekenni area has changed a lot over the last 100 years, and no doubt it will continue to change over the next 100 years. But if you're interested in seeing Birchbrow, take a right at Plug Pond, go up the hill, and come check it out for yourself. You can learn more about Birchbrow on Jay Cleary's When I'm 64, available on our YouTube channel, HCTV Haverhill. Haverhill kids will be speaking out against bullying at the second annual Stop the Bull Rally, May 2nd, sponsored by the Haverhill Exchange Club. Leanne Eastman and Rebecca Colantoni stopped by to tell us more about the rally.
The name of the event is Stop the Bull. It's Friday, May 2nd from 5:30 to 9. And if you don't know about Stop the Bull, it's a rally that the Exchange Club put together last year. And it's for the greater Haverhill area, along with Pentucket Lake and Timberland High Schools, and middle schools, importantly too. And it's an event just to bring awareness about bullying. The activities start from 5:30 to 7. We have a mechanical bull, we have an obstacle course, there's going to be face painting for kids, there's going to be food and drink, an MC that's going to play all kinds of music, and then the event itself actually starts at 7 o'clock where the rally begins, and we have a bunch of different performers from around the area and musical talents and speakers, so it's really going to be a great night.
Stop the Bull was started by the Haverhill Exchange Club. Last year was our first year doing it. The mission of the Haverhill Exchange Club is the prevention of child abuse, and so we run a lot of different programs geared towards that mission, bringing awareness, and programs geared towards children. And this one, no one was doing this. No one was touching on this important topic of bullying in the community. So the Exchange Club felt strongly that this was something that fell in line with our mission, and we're excited to have it coming again this year for the second time.
Some of the highlights of Stop the Bull for that night that we have is the Vayu twins, and they come all the way from Maine. We're really excited to have them be a part of our night. They're 18-year-old twin sisters, and they had experience with bullying in the past, and through music they spread the message to local schools in their area and are traveling around the country giving their message about bullying and how bullying really can affect a person. And so they share their story through music, and they're fabulous. So we're really excited to have them be a part of our night and share their experiences with the students, and have the students be able to come up to them after the show and be able to talk to them. So that's our big highlight for the night, along with other great things that we have as well.
We also this year are doing a luminary ceremony. The students can purchase a luminary bag and donate it, or make it in memory of someone, or for themselves, and write a personal message, and then we'll light them once it gets dark out around the track at the high school, and have some music playing. And it's kind of a cool, reflective time.
It's just bringing awareness to the community and providing support, and just a place for kids to gather to have a really good time, listen to stories about people who've been bullied and how they've overcome that, and done things with their life, or just being able to talk about it and having kids be able to relate to those kids on that same level, to know that they're not alone, and that there's other people that experience it too, and that there's ways to get help, and there's ways to stand together against bullying.
The rally's going to be really upbeat and fun, so we can't wait.
If you'd like more information on Stop the Bull, visit their Facebook page at Stop the Bull Haverhill. The Haverhill YWCA's Academy of Women is celebrating 25 years of service at the 25th Annual Tribute to Women Luncheon on Wednesday, May 28th. The Academy honors women from the greater Haverhill area who have blazed new trails and overcome obstacles to make outstanding contributions to their community. Over 275 women have been inducted into the YWCA Academy of Women since 1990. This year's inductees will be paid tribute to at the May 28th luncheon, which is held at DeBurrow's and begins at 11:30 a.m. For ticket or sponsorship information, call 978-374-6121. If you're a book lover, you can meet best-selling New York Times author Joe Hill and discuss his novels with him at the Haverhill Public Library, May 12th at 7 p.m. to celebrate Haverhill Reads. Hill's new book, Nosferatu, was named one of the 10 best books of 2013 by Time magazine. He'll also be joined by award-winning fantasy author Christopher Golden. If you'd like to talk more about the book before meeting Hill, get lit, The library's book group for 20 and 30-somethings will meet at the Barking Dog Ale House on Washington Street for a book discussion on Nosferatu, May 8th at 7 p.m. You can register for the Joe Hill book discussion or the Get Lit evening at haverhillpl.org. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@mediahc.org. And that's what's happening here in Haverhill the week of April 30th. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you next week.